male, age 46. Why is cold the only pathogenic factor involved in this case? Painful obstruction in the narrow sense can be caused by wind, cold, dampness, or heat. In this case, there is obviously no heat involved. The pain is fixed, so we can exclude the possibility of wind. Cold and dampness both cause fixed pain, but the nature of the pain differs. Cold usually causes severe, aching pain. Dampness mainly causes a feeling of heaviness and stiffness. By comparison to which the pain tends to be mild and sometimes of little significance. This is therefore a typical case of simple cold invasion. Number 2, is there any spleen deficiency in this case? The spleen controls the muscle, and when there is a spleen deficiency, especially of spleen Chi, the patient may have muscle wasting. In this case, there is localized atrophy of the muscles of the right shoulder girdle, which is quite mild. However, the diagnosis of spleen deficiency cannot be made according to these symptoms, as the atrophy in this case is due to limitation of movement by pain and consequent disease. If the circulation of Qi and blood in the channel is improved and the pathogenic factor is expelled, the shoulder will be used and the atrophy will improve. If the elbow in atrophy broadens, to be considered. Conclusion, according to the 8 principles, pathogenic cold. According to channels and collaterals, obstruction of the channels by pathogenic cold, primarily the Hanjiang right brightness, large intestine channel. So our treatment principle, expel the pathogenic cold and warm the channel. Remove the obstruction from the channel and alleviate the pain. Selection of points, large intestine 5, right side with warm needle. Large intestine 14, right side. MUE, that's 48, right side with warm needle. Large intestine 10, right side. And small stomach 36 and stomach 36. Explanation of points. Large intestine 15 is a very important point for promoting the function of the shoulder joints and removing obstruction and pathogenic factors from the channels. It is most commonly used for painful obstruction involving the shoulder, especially when the pain is on the upper anterior aspect. When there is cold invasion, the warm needle technique using moxa on the needle can be used at this point. Large intestine 14 is a good choice for moving obstruction from the sinews and the channels. It is located on the lower part of the deltoid, paired with large intestine 15, which is on the upper part of this muscle. It makes a good combination for alleviating the local pain and also for promoting the circulation of qi and blood. MUE-48 is located at the midpoint between your axillary fold. This miscellaneous point promotes the circulation of qi and blood in the local muscle and shoulder joint. It is appropriate selection when the symptoms are mainly on the anterior aspect of the shoulder and specifically for limitation of movement. So large intestine 10 is a secondary point for promoting the circulation of qi and blood in the yang brightness channel. Compared to the previous point, it is relatively remote and is commonly used in the clinic to promote the circulation of qi and blood and alleviate pain when there is localized obstruction elsewhere along the channel. Stomach 36 is an effective point for promoting the antipathogenic factor and removing obstruction from the channels and collaterals. It is chosen from the foot yang brightness channel to support the hand yang brightness. In this case, both sides would be needle. Combination points, large intestine 15, large intestine 14, and MUE-48 are a group of local points used for painful obstruction involving the shoulder. They are all promote the function of the joint and sinews, especially on the anterior aspect of the shoulder. So follow up, the patient was treated daily, and after 1 week, the pain was obviously reduced and severity. Movement was still very limited. However, especially in trying to raise the arm, there was a local feeling of tightness, and any large movement exacerbated the pain. After the first week, large intestine 16 was therefore added to prescription, and he was treated on alternative days. After a further 2 weeks of treatment, the feeling of weakness and tension had almost disappeared, and the patient could raise his arm and a little better. He was then treated twice a week for 2 more weeks. After 5 weeks of treatment, he was advised to begin gentle and slow exercise of the shoulder. And after 6 weeks, the symptom had virtually disappeared. He continued exercise and had no recurrence of the shoulder pain. Thank you for your